In FNAF, there's so many confusing characters. For the likes of Golden Freddy, that took us a long time to figure out who they were. Mangle, with a lot of theories saying who actually possesses Mangle, or if it's just a bad animatronic design. But there's two animatronics in particular that I have found so confusing over the last 10 years, well, nearly 10 years, and that's Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy. So in today's video, we're going to be explaining who they could be, what they could be, and let's get straight into the video. If you have any theories of your own, let me know in the comments below, and we'll respond, have a nice conversation about theories about FNAF characters, specifically Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy. But let's get straight into the video. So let's start off with what they were originally. So originally they were Easter eggs in FNAF 2. Well, they just kind of showed up as a very rare screen. We had Shadow Bonnie in the main office who just pop up as a clear shape of Bonnie, just with only the blackness of the animatronic and the white eyes and white teeth. Same with Shadow Freddy, who would just sit in the parts and service area where the Withered would be, who would just sit there endlessly, kind of similar to how Golden Freddy would sit, but that is pretty much all they did. They just kind of sat there and that was it. They were really rare screens though. Now, a lot of people told me as a theory that originally the main theory about Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy were that they were previous victims of Springlock incidents, considering, you know, one is a kind of bear animatronic and one is a Spring Bonnie animatronic. However, it's kind of hard to agree on that, considering it's like a toy Bonnie design and it's obviously like a Freddy design, so it's kind of hard to distinguish that on that. However, it could very possibly be, you know, previous employees who, you know, were victims to the Springlock failures. And then considering in FNAF 3 Night 4's phone call, Phone Guy does mention that there has been other Springlock incidents.
There's been a slight change of company policy concerning use of the suit. Don't. After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous Springlock failures, the company has deemed the suit temporarily unfit for employees.
So that could lead to that theory being a little bit more possible, considering there has confirmed to be other Springlock incidents in other areas. So maybe these are just the spirits and victims of the Springlock incidents, but just in the FNAF 2 area. Now, my theory is that these two shadowy characters could be the remains of the missing kids incident. Now, what I mean by that is that in the original minigames in FNAF 3, Shadow Freddy seems to help each animatronic go to the back room for William Afton to dispose of them. And also, this basically frees them from the suit, which also leads to William Afton getting spring-locked. Now, to me, this seems very likely since they're, you know, being helped by a shadow character. It's not as if the shadow character is leading them to death. It's honestly making them and helping them get to the back room to get them out of the suit. And also in the good ending of FNAF 3, it is Shadow Bonnie who is the last character to give the last crying child a cake, which ultimately leads to the good ending and the happiest day ending. So for me, why would the shadow characters be so-called evil when they are actually helping the missing kids get free? If the ending is actually canon, we still don't know what ending is canon. Personally, I think the FNAF 3 good ending is canon, but if that was the case, it very clearly shows that shadow animatronics are helping the missing kids' spirits get free. But I think there's one thing that is definitely confirmed, is that both of these animatronics are clear imitations of Remnant. Well, Remnant is a very confusing topic when it comes to FNAF. It's basically all the agony and pain that has come from the spirits all just jumbled into one massive pile. And like, I don't think these suits are actually physically there. I think this is just a massive pile of Remnant and all the dark parts of FNAF that has been, you know, occurred. And like with the likes of the missing kids incident, I feel like all of this darkness is built up all through this Remnant, and that has resulted in these shadow animatronics. I feel like they're not actually animatronics. I just feel like they're real big imitations of Remnant, and maybe this was Scott's first attempt to try and introduce the, you know, the concept of Remnant into the games. And also similar to, you know, in FNAF Ultimate Custom Night with the one you should not have killed, the shadow animatronics have the ability to talk to the missing kids, because when you each play each minigame after each night in FNAF 3, the shadow animatronic Shadow Freddy does say, you know, follow me. So it is actually talking to them as if to like, come on, follow me, I'll help you get out of here. And also they have the power to dimension shift. You know, when we do the good ending in FNAF 3, when you have to give the last kid the cupcake or the big cake with Shadow Bonnie, you have to multi-dimension travel into the different minigames. You have to go through like Balloon Boy, Mangle, Toy Chica, you know, the Fredbear one, and then eventually you come to the really purpley shadowy world until you give the last kid his cake. So for me, this is so confusing when you consider that they have, they could possibly be remnant, they could possibly just be previous employee victims, they could be just honestly just random spirits who we've never seen before, and that's what is so confusing, and that leads to the question of who they actually really are. But that is personally my opinion on the shadow animatronics. Did I kind of solve who they might be? I think we have 3 very strong theories there of who they could be, but let me know in the comments below who you think they could be. I'm really intrigued to see what your guys' opinions on that is, because obviously I'm not, the master theory dude. I just come up with theories and, speak my mind on it. So if there's any smarter theories out there, let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there's definitely a few. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash the like button down below. If you like anything to do with FNAF and horror and analog horror, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe and peace. First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.